Keshava Krishna Keshava Krishna Keshava Pahi Keshava Krishna Keshava Krishna Keshava Pahi Rama Raghava Rama Raghava Rama Raghava Rakshamam Rama Raghava Rama Raghava Rama Raghava Rakshamam
Hare Krishna devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All Krishna Shri Prabhupada. Welcome devotees to today's class. Today we'll be discussing from Chaitanya Charitamrita, the Lila chapter 7, verse 71, and the chapter is entitled Lord Chaitanya and Five Features. We are in the discussion part of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who's sitting with the Mayavadi philosophers, and they are questioning him as to why he is sitting not with them, but with others. So we're going to get really into the deep part of it. We're happy to have His Holiness Candramauli Swami with us. Hare Krishna Maharaj. Please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada, and all glories to you, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna. Glories to Prabhupada. My obeisances to everyone.
And it's all yours, Maharaj.
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Prabhupada Simla Sri Pada Ihara Karana Gula Mora Mukha Deki Karila Sasana. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu replied to Prakasananda Saraswati, "My dear sir, kindly hear the reason. My spiritual master considered me a fool, and therefore he chastised me." When Prakasananda Saraswati inquired from Lord Chaitanya why he neither studied Vedanta nor performed meditation, Lord Chaitanya presented himself as number one fool in order to indicate that the present age, Kali Yuga, is an age of fools and rascals in which it's not possible to obtain perfection simply by reading Vedanta philosophy and meditating. The Shastras strongly recommend Harir Nama, Harir Nama, Harir Nama Eva Kevalam, Kalo Nasteva, Nastieva, Nastieva, Gatya Anyata. In this age of quarrel and hypocrisy, the only means of deliverance is the chanting of the holy names of the Lord. There is no other way. There is no other way. There is no other way. People in general in Kali Yuga are so fallen that it's not possible for them to obtain perfection simply by studying the Vedanta Sutra. One should therefore seriously take to the constant chanting of the holy name of the Lord. Om Gyan Timidandasya Gina Jana Salakaya Chaksu Unmilitan Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pastaya Bhutali Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesa Sunyavadi Paschatya Desatarine Vansha Kalpa Tarubhischa Kripa Sindhu Bevacha Titanam Pavanebhyam Vaishnavebhyo Namaho Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasari Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. In each of the ages of humankind, known as the four yugas, Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, and Kali Yuga, there is a means for self-realization in this age. And so Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Yuga avatar in this age, and he's designated and indicated by his example that the chanting of the holy name of the Lord, there is no other way, there is no other way, there is no other way. It's interesting, when something is mentioned 3 times, it is considered to be an absolute principle. You may say something, and it may be debatable. You may say it again, and there still may be some consideration. But when you say it 3 times, there is an absolute principle. And that is a statement from Shastras talking about how when something is important or absolute, it is given emphasis thrice. So here, especially in relationship to the Yuga Dharma, because in this age, as it says here, Lord Chaitanya is indicating, and Srila Prabhupada is explaining, that in this age, people are fallen. Kalir dosha nidhi rajan. It's a very difficult age. Manda sumanda bhaktayom manya bhaga upadritaha. People are lazy, misguided, unlucky, and always disturbed and very quarrelsome at the same time. This doesn't need any explanation. This you can see simply by your interaction in day-to-day life. So we can understand from Shastra that according to the mercy of the Lord, it manifests in a particular age. So in each of the ages, based on the qualifications of the participants, in other words, the general population, there is a means for self-realization that is recommended. And even though the chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra has been available for millions and billions of years, it's not like it's something new. It was never given that position as being the Yuga Dharma. People in Satya Yuga would perform meditation, the Astanga Yoga system. And that means the eightfold process of meditation, where one would have to perform a varieties of activities leading up to full absorption on the transcendental form of the Lord within the mind, and eventually bringing that form into the heart. That meditation, due to the quality of the people in the age, would be performed for many, many decades. Just like it is mentioned that people lived can live up to 100,000 years in that age. Now, you might think, how was that possible? Well, the age was pure in the sense that the atmosphere was conducive and everything was aligned according to nature's arrangement. And there were no, what we say, anomalies. There was, as it says, 99.9% of the population was God conscious. So you can imagine what the quality of life was. And the environment was always supportive of that lifestyle. So, of the conducive, the activities of self realization. So, therefore, to meditate for such a long time was the austerity in that age. In the following age, Treta Yuga, it was costly Vedic sacrifices known as Agnihotra, were grains, various precious metals, various precious stones. In other words, 6 types of ingredients that were considered to be, by nature's arrangement, opulent and rare, were offered, along with the chanting of mantras by the perfect Brahmins who could chant the verses exactly as it's mentioned in the Shastras. It is said that even a slight deviation in chanting would make the whole yajna considered to be null and void. So, therefore, they would chant the mantras perfectly, and then all of these things would be offered into the fire of sacrifice as the priest poured ghee onto the fire, invoking the presence of the Lord. This was the means for self-realization in that age, and people had the opulence to afford such costly Vedic sacrifices. In the Dwapara Yuga, it was worship of the Lord, the form of the Lord known as Archavigraha. We know it as deity worship. To worship the form of the Lord according to the Pancharatriki system, which is described in the Vedas as the exact form of worship and how it must be performed. When it comes to this system of worship, everything has to be done accordingly. And the opulence that was offered to the deity is what was beyond what we can even conceive of. As Srila Prabhupada made a comparison between the deity worship we have in this now and what was done in Dwapara Yuga as the means for self-realization, he said, I've only given you 20%. The other 80% you couldn't possibly execute. It was so the cleanliness standards, the opulence, the precision of worship, and all of the ingredients was what was of the highest form of worship. And people could become self-realized in that age. In this age, Manda Sumanda Matiyo, people are lazy, misguided, unlucky, always disturbed, always finding reasons to quarrel with someone, never happy. This is the age of Kali. And what we see now is just a small indication. As the age continues to go on, it will expand in the negativities more and more and more, till at the end of this age, people will live 20, if one lives to 25 years, that they will be considered, as Prabhupada would say, a grand old man. People, there will be so much, what we say, illness within the society, so much degradation, it's not possible to describe. Sometimes we see in movies they display these dinosaurs, these big gigantic monsters that were roaming the earth. Actually, that's true. These were at the end of the Kali Yugas in the previous ages. It becomes like that. But in this particular age, it's kind of special. In this Kali Yuga, The mercy manifestation of the Lord has come in the form of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he's come with the mercy, and that is the chanting of the holy name. So it is highly recommended and highly emphasized also to chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Prabhupada was talking today. He says, some devotees were complaining to me that we don't do enough bhajan in our society. But I was telling them, you're not qualified to do so much. You need to also perform activities. But he said, if you want, you can chant 300 rounds a day, if you want, he said. That's an exact quote from one of his lectures on the 7th canto I was listening to this morning. And so it's recommended to chant, as it says here in the very last line of the purport. If you can flip to that last line, you'll see. It said, one should therefore seriously take to the constant chanting of the holy name of the Lord. So it's recommended. Kirtaniya sadalahi. One should chant always. Because this age is so bad that this is the only solace, this is the only shelter, this is the only source of becoming protected from the calamities and difficulties, the anomalies in this age, is to chant always the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. And one might say, well, that is difficult. Yes, we're not saying it isn't, because of the age and because of the qualifications that we have. It appears to be difficult, but it can be done if one practices it and associates with and serves Vaishnavas, because the quality of chanting is enhanced by the association and the service of the Vaishnavas. So there are certain considerations that enhance the quality and ability of our chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, such as reading Srimad Bhagavatam every day, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, associating serving Vaishnavas, taking only food offered to Krishna, Krishna Prasadam, avoiding food coming from the outside from non-devotees, which has a tendency to pollute the mind due to the people who cook these. They are very sinful by nature, and therefore we gain some of their consciousness when we take food from the outside. We should not be lax in this area because it'll affect the quality of your chanting. It may also cause you to have bad dreams at night, which are quite common in this age of Kali. So yeah, so this verse and purport is right to the point. Lord Chaitanya is making a point that I'm not qualified to study Vedanta. What he's saying is you're not qualified to study Vedanta either, even though you think you are. And as far as meditation concerned, what are you meditating on? So meditation means chanting the holy name of the Lord and hearing the sound vibration. That is the meditation we perform in this age. So therefore, it's very, in this verse from the what is it? Brihan Naradiya Purana, Harinama, Harinama, Harinama Eva Kevalam, Kalo Nasti Eva Nasti Eva Nasti Eva Gatir Anyata, is the stamp of approval that this is the means for self-realization in this age. Devotees like to chant kirtan, but we also should be very enthusiastic to chant japa. We should practice our japa, becoming attentive to our japa, becoming faithful towards the chanting of the holy name, knowing that by chanting the holy name we can achieve perfection. That is faith, attentiveness, and at the same time to add the element of devotion by offering it to Krishna in the form of his name. So that is the means for self-realization. And there's been books, there's been the scriptures describe that in this age, everything else is secondary and supportive. Just like sometimes people think, well, if it's just chanting, let me just chant. But who can do that? Even Prabhupada was saying that this morning. Don't think that you can just sit down and chant. And you have to be on a liberated platform to do that constantly. But therefore, we perform other services, which helps us to chant when we chant our prescribed rounds like that. He made in a statement saying that if you're chanting and you're not following the processes given by the acharyas, by the present spiritual teachers, then he says, if you want to cook, then you want your food to be done within a certain time. He says that chanting without following the process is cooking with smoke. He said your dinner will take 300 years to, to cook. Can you imagine cooking with smoke? How long it would take? Smoke is still fire, but you can't cook with smoke because it doesn't have the potency of fire, although it comes from fire. So, yeah, so we have to take this chanting very seriously and make it a primary part of our day. And as Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur recommends, he teaches us that by practicing this chanting every day, according to our prescribed number of rounds, we will develop the taste to chant more and more, and then come to the point of chanting always. So if we follow this process carefully and execute according to the instructions of the spiritual master, according to Rupa Goswami's teachings as the Sangha or the sadhana for executing bhakti, then then it becomes not only successful, but it's a joyful process. Susukam kartamavyayam, like that. So this chanting is so important, and it's the emphasis like that. Kirtan and japa both they're synonymous, but the mood of expression might be slightly different. One is with a group, and one is silently. But one is with oneself. One is done kind of silently, or you might say in a more individual basis, and the other one is with many, and the sound and vibration covers. To purify the world, the Sankirtan movement has been designated as the means to achieve perfection in spreading the holy name of the Lord. Okay, so any questions or comments?
Thank you, Marge, for this class on the importance and the power of chanting and how we should take it seriously, especially in this age of Kali. I'm going to stop sharing and request devotees if you can please turn on your cameras wherever possible so that we can have each other's association. As many as possible that can turn your cameras on, please do so. If there are any questions, please do raise your hand in the order, and I will be happy to read the question if it's in the chat and turn you on to ask. Daria, please go ahead.
Thank you very much. Hare Krishna, my humble obeisances, all Guru Sri Srila Prabhupada and Maharaj. I just wanted to clarify, so until we reach that level that we are constantly chanting, then we cannot be liberated. And if I remember correctly, yesterday you were mentioning that we continue what we do from this life into the next one. So
you misinterpreted my statement. I didn't say we can't be liberated. I was saying that to chant constantly is on the liberated platform. That means those who are chanting constantly, they already reached perfection in the process. There's no another, they have reached perfection in the process. So they're practicing on the liberated platform. We are practicing on the liberated platform too, but we're not aware of that because we're still struggling to come to that platform. But still, the platform is available through the process of bhakti. So, yeah, well, be careful how you use words because don't change the meaning around.
Okay, sorry.
So what is the
But
question?
I was just wondering if, for example, with only the rules and regulation, can we really reach Krishna, or do we have to come to that level that we are
Yeah,
to the
yeah, rules and regulations is get you to the point of becoming attracted to Krishna. Once your attraction develops, then it becomes natural. And in that natural attraction, you develop what is called a spontaneous bhakti. It's called Raganuga Bhakti. So sadhana bhakti is divided into rules and regulations and spontaneity. Spontaneity is necessary to reach perfection. Otherwise, you don't develop your love for Krishna, and there's no question of reaching the conclusion of bhakti. Without love for Krishna, then we have to come back again and start over from where we were. We left off in our previous life. Just think of something in this world that attracts you immediately when you come in contact with it. And then apply that same idea to Krishna. When you see, as soon as you think of Krishna, as soon as you chant Krishna's name, as soon as you see a picture of Krishna, as soon as you see the deity of Krishna, you become so attracted that it just inspires you in that attraction to want to develop more and more attraction for Krishna. Attraction turns into attachment turns into bhava, affection, and affection turns into love. It's a process. Unless you develop love for Krishna, Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Sadhu Kavanoi, Sravanari Siddhi Chitte Kodiye Doi. In the hearts of all living entities, pure love for Krishna is there. That is awakened by the process of bhakti. But it cannot be awakened simply by following rules and regulations. Rules and regulations are a stage to get you to the point of attraction. Once you get to the point of attraction, then the attraction becomes the means for executing your devotional service. You still follow the rules and regulations, but it's not you're not bound by those rules and regulations anymore. You're bound by your natural attraction to Krishna. When you wake up in the morning, you just jump out of bed. You can't wait to chant the holy names. You can't wait to go to the temple. You can't wait to hear about Krishna. You're thinking of Krishna every minute. That's spontaneous devotional service. That's the process to come to that stage. So and it's natural for the soul. It's natural.
Thank you very much. Can you just clarify, because I'm still confused. You mentioned that we are all on the liberated form, because I misinterpreted what you were saying in the beginning.
We're on what form?
The liberation platform. I didn't.
I just made a point what Prabhupada said. He said to chant always 24 hours a day, you have to be on the liberated platform. That's an exact quote. But you can get to that platform.
After many lifetimes, I guess. Or
No, you can do it in one lifetime. if you're determined, you can do it in one lifetime. Lord
So
Chaitanya
it,
has made it easy. He's given the qualifications. Chant the holy names, associate and serve Vaishnavas. These are the two things that he made prominent in his teachings. And then he added a third one, Jivadoya. Prabhupada says, as you develop in your Krishna consciousness and you become fixed in your chanting and service, you will naturally want to preach. He says naturally. It'll come as part of your development in Krishna consciousness. That's called Jivadoya, preaching.
Guru Maharaj, would you kindly please repeat that first part of the sentence?
What do you, I'm not sure what you're referring to.
I got the second part, then you will naturally want to preach. But the first part I couldn't catch.
When you're fixed in your devotional service and in chanting the holy names, you'll come to the stage of naturally wanting to preach.
Okay. Thank you so much.
I'm the things that I'm saying, I just heard Prabhupada speak this morning in 7th canto, 9th chapter. He was giving these the prayers by Prahlad Maharaj to Lord Nrsingadev.
Thank you, Marge. Thank you for the very nice question, Daria. But go ahead. Do you have another question, Daria?
I have some others, but I can wait until the
Okay,
others get
I'll come back to you when I see if anyone else has any questions, okay? Anyone else has any question? Yes, Shivakumar, please go ahead.
Thank you. Hare Krishna Maharaj. Please accept my humble obeisances at your lotus feet. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. So Maharaj, one question I have, Maharaj, in terms of we do understand, we read that the influence of the modes act on us, even on devotees, even for long-time practitioners. Then it means it would be much more stronger on non-devotees. So I get this question, Maharaj, as to anyone's act, Maharaj, both in case of devotees and non-devotees, how much of the act, the intent of the act can be attributed towards the intention of the individual himself is something that I started to get a doubt, Maharaj.
Let's see, I didn't connect the question to your explanation.
Yes, Maharaj. So I'm just referring to the slokas where it says that one may think that he is the doer, but actually false ego is the doer, in the sense it indicates that there is this influence of material nature, the three modes on the individual in terms of performing any act. So referring that sloka, Maharaj, I'm just picking up the case of both devotees and non-devotees. Any act that one person does, be it good or bad, I'm just getting this doubt as to how much of the act can be attributed to the intent of the individual himself, knowing that there is influence of the modes and material nature on the individual.
Yeah, well, for devotee, his intent is to serve the Lord. Therefore, he's not under the influence of the modes. For the non-devotees, according to the level of consciousness, either sattva, rajas, and tamas, they're going to connect with one of those three modes based on their desire. But devotees are not under the influence of these energies.
Okay.
Because if they're serving the Lord, their service is transcendental. They may not feel the transcendentalness because they still have material desires, but if they're acting properly, then they're on that platform.
Okay.
Just like Prabhupada said, when you're engaged in devotional service, you're liberated.
Okay.
Liberation means beyond the three modes.
Okay.
Are we aware of our liberation?
Mm. Okay. Mm. So Maharaj, just one follow-up, Maharaj. Now, I understand the service is transcendental, Maharaj. Then how do we understand the conditioning of the devotees, Maharaj? That also comes in the way of doing the service or interaction with other devotees.
Yeah, I think I just explained that. Their conditioning doesn't make them aware of the fact that they're on the transcendental platform
Okay.
because they're thinking in a certain way. But the service is not material. It's not within the three modes.
Mm.
Anything directed according to the spiritual master is on the transcendental platform.
Mm. Okay.
All right. For instance, I'll give you an example. You are sick. Say the example is jaundice. This is the one that Prabhupada uses the example. So what is the jaundice is a disease of the liver that makes everything taste bitter. But what is the cure for jaundice? Sugarcane. So you're a jaundice patient and you're taking sugarcane. Does that change the taste of the sugarcane? To you, it does, but it doesn't change the essence of the sugarcane's juice. It's still sweet. You
Yes.
can't taste it.
Mm.
You can't taste it because of the disease.
Mm.
But it's a cure at the same time.
Mm.
So devotional service is a cure for all material desires, but we haven't been able to taste it because it's still impure in our consciousness.
Mm. Mm. Okay. Mm. Okay.
Makes sense?
Yes, Maharaj. But just one last question, Maharaj. So just to confirm, Maharaj, my understanding, the anarthas that we have, Maharaj, can that not be compared to the influence of the modes on non-devotees, Maharaj? Is that the same or is there any difference, Maharaj?
The the the
The
the, the
the
anarthas
anarthas,
the
the
anarthas
anarthas that we have that may come in the way of service, like pride or envy, is that comparable to the influence of three modes on non-devotees, Maharaj, or is there any difference?
is it compared to what?
To the influence of the three modes on non-devotees.
So you're comparing devotees with non-devotees now?
In terms of the anarthas, Maharaj, influence of anarthas in the way of service.
Well, if you don't act on the anarthas, then they don't have an effect on you. Abhyabhila Sita Sunya Jnana Kamananavritam Anukalena Krishna Silanam Bhakti Uttama. If you act according to that verse, then you're free from all of the niyam liberties and the anarthas. But if you're not acting towards that verse, then you're mixing devotional service with something material.
Okay.
You understand that verse, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So yeah. So if your intention is not to please Krishna, but you're still doing devotional service, it's mixed.
Okay. Thank you, Maharaj. This helps. So the difference is primarily devotees have the knowledge. It's just this thing of are we applying it or not is a question. But we have the knowledge wherein in case of non-devotees, they do not even have the knowledge that they are under the influence of the modes.
Just act strictly according to the instructions of the spiritual master, and you'll be free from all of these inebrities. That's all.
No.
If you're acting according, if you're, just like the teacher tells you, this is how it's spelled. So you don't know anything about the spelling, but if you follow the teacher and write it down the way she says, it's perfect. You may not be aware of it, but still you're following the teacher. Therefore, you're doing perfect.
Okay. Thank you so much, Maharaj. This clarifies a lot of. Thank you.
Thank you, Shivakumar. Mark, there's a question in the chat from Bhavya. He's asking, the purport says that perfection cannot be achieved by just reading Vedanta Sutra, but can perfection be achieved by reading the commentaries given by Vaishnava Acharyas on Vedanta Sutra like Govinda Bhashya, etc.?
Well, I think Lord Chaitanya is making a general statement that without the chanting of the holy name, especially in this age of Kali, you may be in Vedabara Paraga. You may know the Vedas completely, but still you can't reach perfection because you're not purifying yourself with the chanting of the holy name. You have to follow the Yuga Dharma in this age. That's why it's called Yuga Dharma. Studying Shastras can support your practice and give you knowledge, but there's jnanis that know much more than devotees, but that doesn't mean that they're on a higher platform than the devotees. Sometimes Prabhupada would say, even if you can't understand this philosophy, chant Hare Krishna, you can reach perfection. He would say that. It's like I'm trying to explain some points to some of you and you still can't get it. All right, forget about philosophy, just chant Hare Krishna. If you do that, you can be perfect.
Marge, if I could add something, Marge, I remember you mentioning in one of your recent classes, and I want to say it was 2 weeks ago, where you said something like Srila Prabhupada wrote the books based on, whatever he has researched from the Acharyas and the Goswamis, etc. And that's how he wrote all the books for us. And for
No,
us, we
no,
should read Prabhupada's books. Is that what it is, Maharaj?
that's incomplete.
I'm sorry.
That's partially right. What you're saying is partial right, but he added his own Krishna conscious realizations to that knowledge that he received.
And that is why we should read Prabhupada's books before even
Yeah,
starting to read
yeah,
other books.
because
Okay.
it's relevant to us as the members as followers of Srila Prabhupada.
That's what's coming to my mind from Bhavya's question, is to first read Srila Prabhupada's books.
Yeah, read Prabhupada's books, but what does the book say? Chant Hare Krishna.
Yes. Let's get that one down first.
Prabhupada also said that. He said that all my purports are meant to get you to the point of chanting Hare Krishna.
Yes. Thank you, Marge. There's another question, Marge, from
But
Sunil.
you have to
I'm sorry.
you have to understand one thing. When Prabhupada started this movement, he asked us to chant 64 rounds a day.
Pritchett always,
But
yes.
he became concessionary when we told him we couldn't do it. And then he said 16, no less. But you have to understand, what is the goal? The goal is Satatam Kirtayam Tumam, to chant always, not just 16 rounds. 16 rounds is to connect you with the process and get you develop a taste in it. And then as you develop a taste, if you're not chanting more, then what's the use? But you don't have to sit down and chant more. You can chant, as Prabhupada says, you can chant anytime, any place, anywhere. You don't have to have beads to chant. You can chant anytime.
Thank you, Marge. Marge, there's another question here from Sunil asking, how do we fix up how do we fix up in chanting every day?
Regulation. Regulate it. Schedule it in. Make it a part of your daily schedule. Make it an early part of your daily schedule, not just any part of the schedule. Yeah.
Hope that helps, Sunil.
That applies to anything you want to do. You got to schedule it.
Maharaj, another question, because we have quite at least 3, 4, and I'm trying to use that before if devotees, if you have questions, please raise your hand. I will stop reading the chat and come back to you, so you don't have to wait for me to finish reading. So if you have a question, please do raise your hand. Marsh Bhavya is asking, what can we do to get liberated? In just one lifetime, I don't ever want to come back into this cruel world ever.
Don't worry about liberation. Just chant Hare Krishna.
That's what your Prabhupada said too.
If you actually develop attraction for chanting, then everything you're looking for in Krishna consciousness will automatically come through the chanting. We don't really understand the power of this holy name. It's Krishna himself. Nama Chintamani Krishnas Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha. Punya Sudya Nitya Mukta Abhinna Tvam Nami Nami No. Krishna's name is Krishna. Can you imagine? You can't. But how powerful Krishna is, nobody can. So that
Yeah.
name is equally as powerful.
Nobody can. Yeah.
It's equally as, not only is it equally as powerful, it's more powerful. What do I mean by more powerful? Is that if somehow or other you commit some offenses to Krishna, you can't pray to Krishna to relieve you of the offenses. You have to chant the holy name. That will relieve you of the offense. The holy name is more merciful than Krishna himself.
Thank you, Maharaj. Yes, Amritanam, go ahead.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, my humble obeisances, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. It's nice to hear you after so many days.
I'm still around.
Yes,
Oh yeah, that's
you
right.
are.
We just came back from the retreat.
Yes,
Okay.
we were hearing you on some of the clips which devotees used to send us, but it's nice to hear you personally now. Yeah. So, Guru Maharaj, my question was about overthinking. Uh, when we when people overthink, especially okay, let me talk about devotees. Devotees also have the habit of overthinking. So one solution is definitely chanting, because we are not enough engaging ourselves in chanting. That's why we give time to overthinking. But I have seen Guru Maharaj, many devotees, they're not able to control this thing even willingly. I mean, it is like beyond their reach.
They're,
How
they're
can
not
we help this kind of people?
they're not able to control what?
Overthinking?
Yeah. Yeah, but you can't solve a problem by overthinking.
Mm.
You can contemplate something. That's not overthinking. But overthinking means you go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Is it like this? Is it like this? Is it like this? Is it like this? She said, he said, they said, I said, we all said. We just go back, we just contemplate everything too much. But what you hit on a good point though. If you simply remember Krishna, everything will become clear. Therefore, there's no question of wasting your time. But overthinking. We all have that experience. If you're trying to do something and you forget something and you say Hare Krishna, as soon as you say that, you remember. Right?
Yes, Guru Maharaj.
Am I exaggerating or what?
No,
As soon as you say Hare, as
no,
soon
it
as you say
happens.
Hare Krishna, everything becomes clear.
Yes.
Of course, Krishna will not clarify your desire for sin, for something material, but if you have desire in spiritual activities, then the holy name guides you, moves you along, clarifies everything, gives you the understanding and the realization. Holy name is everything.
Yes.
There's a verse in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. I wish I could remember the actual verse. So nice. It's just sums up everything in two sentences. But Lord Brahma also gives a similar verse. Iti soda sakam nam nam kali kamasanasanam nata paratayo payo sarva vedashu drishyate. Well, let's see. After searching through all Vedic knowledge, one cannot find a more complete, sublime, and perfect process for self-realization in this age of Kali than these 16 names. And then the last part of the verse is the Hare Krishna mantra. That's from the Kali Santara Upanishads.
Mm.
But as I
Thanks so
mentioned,
much.
we can't just chant. We have to follow the process also. But as you develop in your Krishna consciousness through following the processes, you want to chant more and more. You see you understand how chanting is everything. And that becomes a more and more focus.
I think, Guru Maharaj, in our daily sadhana, we should keep this understanding and not understanding, but studying the importance and significance of holy name every day, so that we keep reminded how powerful holy name is.
Yeah. Even if you don't know anything, if you chant, you're protected from all material dangers.
Yes, Guru Maharaj. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Nice question, Amritanam. Thank you. Sadhvi, you're up next.
Hare Krishna, and thank you very much for today. Situation with Bali Maharaj, where he didn't follow his guru's instruction because he had feeling that this time he shouldn't listen. Sometimes it may happen. I'm not saying it has happened. I'm not talking about anyone. I'm just saying sometimes the guru can have his own agenda where it's not 100% 100% according Krishna consciousness or following Krishna consciousness, but has own agenda. Do the have follow it anyway? Thank you.
Then there's two things. If he's doing that and he's not acting in his capacity as guru, or if you also are involved with that, then you can question. Not challenge, but question. In other words, you're getting an instruction, you feel like it's not in line with Krishna consciousness, question.
It doesn't consider like offense towards guru.
If you question with the desire to understand, no. If you challenge, then it becomes offensive.
Thank you.
Nice question, Sadhvi. Thank you. Mark, there's a question here from Sakshi. Does acting purely mean to follow the do's and don'ts of the process, following spiritual master's instructions? And by doing that, you are on the transcendental platform, regardless of whether you feel or not? Is that the right understanding?
It has nothing to do with feeling, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Instructions of the spiritual master are the instructions of Krishna. When you're following them, you're on the liberated transcendental platform. You may not be liberated, but at least you're acting on the transcendental platform. And if you continue to do that, you'll reach the transcendental platform and stay on it. It's called purity. You may not agree, doesn't matter. If you follow, that's purity. You may not understand, but if you follow, that's purity.
Hope that helped, Sakshi. You can probably put a thumbs up or something when you get a chance. Yes. Okay, great. Thank you. Marge, another question in the chat from Anasuya. She's asking, very nice question, actually. What are some practical tips we can sustain our inspiration from the retreat, especially when we go back home and struggle with association and have limited association with God family?
Who's asking?
Anasuya.
Anasuya. Oh, from Boston?
I think yes, she must in New York now, I believe, but yes.
Yes, Gurmaharaj from Boston.
Boston, yes, Boston.
Were you there at the end, the last session when Bhuta Bhavana was speaking?
No, Gurmaharaj, I missed it.
No, he gave a summary, and that's the point he made. In fact, he presented his whole presentation around that. How to take the retreat with us. He made many points. The point is to reflect back on it. We're going to do a little exercise, which we did last year. I just spoke with Ekachakra Dam, and she's going to request every devotee to write their realizations, their experiences, about the retreat. We did it last year. We got amazing feedback. Sometimes was so amazing that I still have it. I think we'd like to turn it into a small book because in the same way this year was, I think, even better than last year in terms of numbers, of course, and of course the enthusiasm. What I saw was unbelievable. This year's enthusiasm was really, not even, what will you say, explainable. But one of the things he said was to take it with you and share it with others.
Yeah.
That's one thing he said. When you share something, and then it has a tendency to remain with you. And also it helps others to experience Krishna conscious. So yeah, share it. Share it with anyone you meet. Share with your mother. She's a devotee also. Share it.
Thank you, Gurmaharaj. And the class is recorded, right? So I can, if I missed it, I can find the recording.
Yeah, everything was recorded.
Thank you.
That'll be made available. Akarshini Radha did all the recordings, so that'll be put on. I don't know how she'll release it, but she's working on it and she'll make it ready for release soon. Yeah. Share it. Even now, whatever you experience, share it.
That was a very nice question, actually, because I think devotees sometimes struggle with that. They come back and trying to figure out how to merge back in. It's a common struggle. Thank you. Very nice question, Anasuya. Thank you. Any other questions from devotees? Please do raise your hand. We got probably a couple of more minutes. If there's another question. Yes, Daria, go ahead. Oh, yes, you did say you had. I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
Daria
No,
has hundreds of questions.
I'm sorry. Maybe I can just take one quick one. Because in Treta Yuga, you mentioned that the chanting of the mantras was very important, especially to chant them correctly. I was wondering, does it, for example, in Kali Yuga, does it affect us if we are not chanting properly? Not just the holy name, but also other mantras.
Not in the same way. That was the pronunciation. In Treta Yuga, the pronunciation has to be exact. Just like you look at the Sanskrit words, some of them have an emphasis over some of the letters and some don't. If you don't pronounce the emphasis, then the whole yug is just like if you say pita and you say pita. So pita means father, pita means father, and pita means yellow. Same word, P-I-T-A. But pita, father, pita, yellow. So Sanskrit words are like that. They have different meanings according to the emphasis given by the Sanskrit. So your question was, in Kali Yuga, when it comes to chanting, that's different. Even if you don't pronounce the words correctly, Krishna is, what is he called? What's that terminology? Bhava Janardana, Bhava Grahi Janardana,
भावग्राही जनार्दन भावग्राही सारग्राही जनार्दन
Bhava Grahi Janardana. He takes the essence of what you're trying to say. So try to pronounce it right, that's for sure. But even if you don't, but your intention is in the right direction, Krishna will accept it. But that doesn't apply to the Sanskrit pronunciations when you're talking about Shastra. That has to be done accordingly, or else you get a different meaning.
So when we read in the Shastra, it has to be accordingly, like the pronunciation.
Well, you have to be able to read the Sanskrit properly. If you know how to read it, then you'll pronounce it right. If you don't know how to read it, you'll pronounce it wrong. Sanskrit grammar takes 12 years to learn. Just the grammar.
I hope that helped, Daria.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you. Marsh, we've gone a little, almost good timing. So if by your permission, if it's okay that I end the class, if no one has any questions, looking in the chat.
Ask me your favorite question.
Your favorite question, Marge?
Your
Oh,
favorite
okay.
question.
Marge, I will ask that question when Bhavya is done with his question. Just raise his hand, then I'll ask my question, Marge. But actually, I do have a question from the class, but I'll have Bhavya go first. Go ahead, Bhavya.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. Glories to Srila Prabhupada. Guru Maharaj, my question was, what if a person, if that soul is on the level of Bhava Bhakti, or even on the stage of Ruchi, for example, so and he dies at that stage, so will that soul get liberation or not?
It was kind of breaking up, wasn't it? That's what I got. Anasuya, did you get the question?
Yeah, I think what he was asking, correct me if I'm wrong, Bhavya, is if a devotee is practicing Krishna consciousness and they don't complete the stage of perfection, and somewhere in the middle, I think Ruchi stage, I think is what you said, Bhavya, and they leave their
Ruchi or
body.
Bhava stage.
Yeah, and if they leave the body, does that mean that they have to come back to pick up where they left off, or they attain liberation?
Unless you are free from all material desires and fixed in love of God, you have to come back. Of course, the Gyanis, if you perfect your consciousness in knowledge, then you merge into the bodily effulgence of the Lord. The Gyanis, the yogis, they have different destinations. But for devotees, there's the 9 stages of bhakti as given by Rupa Goswami. Ruchi is only in the middle. It's only the 6th stage. There's 3 more stages, Ashakti, Bhava, and Prema. So our goal is love of God. Our goal is not liberation. Our goal is love of God.
Hope that helped, Bhavya.
Yes.
Answered your
Can
question.
I ask one more question?
Yes, go
Yes.
ahead.
Guru Maharaj, as it is given that there are 5 types of liberations. So the top 2 types of liberation is Samipya and Salokya. So what is the difference between Salokya liberation and Samipya liberation?
Salokya means after leaving the body, you go to the planet where Krishna is performing his pastimes. And that's Salokya. And Samipya, let me think. I can't remember. That's the one that I always forget, Samipya.
It means to be with God. Samipya means to be close to God, like in that Lila with God.
Yeah, so they're similar, but maybe slightly different. One, to be on the same planet doesn't mean you're with him. You can be.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily, because the word Lokya means planet.
So does that mean that even after going to Goloka, there are some souls who are in the Salokya liberation stage and they don't have any rasa with God?
They don't have what?
Any ras with Krishna. They are not reciprocating with Krishna.
No, these are bhakti liberations. These are all these liberations. The four of them are gotten by bhakti. Oh, of course, even demons got Sahuja liberation, but there was one demon who got Sarupya liberation. That was Agasura. He got Sarupya. So, but because the last thing he saw before he died was the transcendental form of the Lord. But all of these, we're not interested in Sahuja liberation. That's all done by the Gyanis, the Mayavadis, the yogis. They get that at best. Devotees get Sarshti, Sarupya, Samipya, and Salokya.
Guru
Hope
Maharaj,
that helps.
which should we focus on? Which one? Samipya or Salokya?
Neither one.
Neither.
Focus on love of God. Forget all that other stuff. These are concessionaries. They're not the goal. Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Saru Kabonoin Sravanari Siddhi Chitti Koriye Udoy. Go for perfection. Perfection is love of God. Krishna is not controlled by any of these other liberations, but Krishna is controlled by love. And it's not that we desire to control Krishna. but he's attracted by our love for him. That's just natural. When someone loves you, even if you don't like them, still you're attracted to them because they love you. Yeah. Love has a way to attract. It's a magnet. Forget all these other things unless you want something less. We didn't come here to take something less. We came here to reach Lord Chaitanya's goal of this loving Krishna in the mood of Vrindavan Krishna. Which is, there's Krishna in Dwarka, Krishna in Mathura, Krishna in Vrindavan, and Krishna in Goloka. So the highest is Krishna in Vrindavan.
Thank you, Bhavya, for your question. Sridevi,
Thank you.
yours will be
Maharaj.
the
Thank you.
last question. Go ahead.
Thank you, Anusuya. Dear Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. So, Guru Maharaj, when we say going back to Godhead, does it mean that any one of these 5 kinds of liberation is also obtained as a byproduct of going back to Godhead, or it has nothing to do with these liberations?
Nothing to do with them. And that means
So
the
one can
soul wasn't completely pure, but it's achieved a very high level of devotion.
so
Thank you,
when we
Sri.
say going
Sorry, go
back
ahead.
So when we say going back to Godhead, what we are actually saying is attain pure devotional service, whether that is on any planet, any universe, anywhere. The goal is to obtain pure love for Krishna, which is natural in our hearts. We are uncovering it through this process of Bhakti Yoga. So that is what we mean when we say going back to Godhead, attaining pure devotional service.
Yeah.
Okay. All
The
right.
9
Thank you,
stages
Guru.
of bhakti, and the 9 stages of bhakti culminate in the stage of prema.
So Prem Pumartha Mahan, the highest stage, attaining pure love for Krishna, is attaining pure devotional service to his lotus feet.
Yeah, that's your nature anyway. It's not something you don't have to create it. You don't have to bring it out in from another source. It's there. You just have to uncover it. And Lord Chaitanya has given us the means, chant the holy names. And serve the Vaishnavas.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj, for clarifying that.
Thank you, Sridevi. Maharaj, would you like to end with one round of chanting?
Oh, you knew my question. Thank you. I mean, since we're talking about chanting, so we should actually perform the activity we're discussing. Okay, everyone sit up straight, back straight. If you're in a chair, sit up straight. If you're not in a chair, then still keep your back straight. And we begin by invoking the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. Jai Shri Krishna, Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasari Gaur Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Om Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Hare Hare, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Ram Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. 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 Hare Rama, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama. Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Rama. Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hari 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Hare Hari 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hari Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Hare Hari 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 Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Hare Hari 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 Ram Hari 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 Krishna 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 Hari 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 Ram Hari 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 Krishna 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 Hari 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 Ram Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Krishna 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 Hari 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 Ram Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Hari Hare Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Ram Hari Hare Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Ram Hari Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Ram Ram Hari Krishna 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 Hari 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Hari Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hari Hari Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hari Hari
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj.
Hari Bol Hari Bol Krishna Hari Krishna Hari
Krishna
Hari Hari Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Rama Rama Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Rama Rama Hari 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 Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Rama Hari Hari Hare Krishna Krishna Hari Hari Rama Hari Hari Hare Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hari Hari Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hari Hari Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Ram Krishna 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 Hari 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hari Hari Krishna 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hari Hari Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Rama Rama Hari Hari Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Ram, Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.